like how to bring everybody together as well as make a nice atmosphere for everybody to look at outside as well. And the fact that they have the park, all of the actual flats, sorry, homes, they're all facing the park, so you get a nice visual scenery outside your kitchen, nice lighting coming in. So at first we thought, okay, all this is going to be demolished, so we could just do our own big project as architects think. But towards the end we were like, wait a minute, we don't want to demolish this, we actually want to keep this here. So we kind of then started thinking of, okay, how can we make it more social orientated? So most of us are thinking of like maybe designing a greenhouse or something that brings community together. Others are doing installations that bring people together. So things that bring the community together and not almost do what the council is, doing the absolute opposite. It's just pretty much breaking the council, so breaking people together. So most of our work here, like the collages, research, they're illustrating the side of greenery, the beautiful nature of the actual area, how much green spaces there are that bring them together, as well as like the breakdown of what the council are pretty much doing to the area. So.
Yeah, just like Crystal said, I think before we all went to the site, we all had this mental image of our head because we just heard the word estate, so we probably just all assumed there's going to be a high-rise block of flats and just kids around until we actually got there. And I think we got a feel for the site and we actually understood with the layout and the tenants as well. We got to interview quite a lot of tenants and see their perspective on the whole situation and what they like about the site. And it is a really nice site because it's well laid out, even like in terms of the homes, like you've got the bungalows and the flats, and it's all designed specifically for even different kinds of people because you've got the bungalows for the elderly and the disabled, and they're all sectioned, and everyone still has a view of Brockwell Park. So I think with most of us, we all focused on different aspects, key aspects that we liked from the site, whether it was to do with vegetation, and I decided to focus on basically the breakdown of what the council are planning to do. So my collages are quite dark and destructive because I feel like the council are basically breaking up homes and uprooting people who have lived there for like over 20 years. They've brought up their kids there, probably got married, moved on to the site, they've grown up there, and I feel like they're breaking it up and they've almost just forgotten about the people, and it's more of just let's just build something that can bring money in for us. And I think as an architect, you should really consider the people first. They should be the main factor and everything should be centered around them. So that's what we've been focusing on for this project, and I think it's really been an eye-opener as well in terms of social housing, and so I think we've enjoyed it quite a lot. So yeah, if you'd all like to have a flick through.
One thing I'd like to say is, what I thought was really amazing about the area was, when I first came to the UK, my mum and I, we both lived in, like, the big block kind of houses. It was only 6 stories, but the atmosphere that I got there was, I'm just going to school, I wouldn't say anything to the neighbours or anything like that. There was no form of communication or, hi, have a nice day and stuff. But once you get to Cressingham, like, you cannot avoid people. Like, there's always a way that you're going to meet someone, and obviously the nice thing says, hi, how's your day and stuff. And you can see such a great community. I think the whole main focus with Cressingham was the community. And I feel like that's something that people would lack if they were to, build high-story flats. So, yeah.
Can I ask something? How does this sort of project fit in with your kind of teaching you're getting at demography? Is it typical, or is it exceptional? Is it rare? Is this the sort of thing you learn as an architect, as a trainee architect?
Yeah, I think, well, because we're in our second year, I don't really have too much experience, but I think it's pretty rare because we haven't had live projects.
Like dealing with actual people.
So I think it's a great opportunity for us architect students to be able to, get out there and talk to people and communicate with them. So yeah, it's very rare. For I think second year it's pretty rare. Maybe third year or placement year where you get to talk to people and go to your firms and stuff like that. But for second year, I think it's been a great opportunity, an eye-opener as well, for us to communicate with the outside world and not limit us. It's kind of opened us, not limit ourselves to just, you know, focusing on, all right, I need to like get a good grade, kind of say. It's more like you actually want to feel part of something, and so, yeah.
So I read a lot of architectural magazines, and they're all so technical. They very rarely deal with the social aspect of architecture. It's always about the rendering and the stuff. I very rarely see them talk about, deal with that aspect of, which is crazy. It's not a painting the wall. It's a place, you know, people live in or work in and so on. It seems to really be missing, you know, my perception in the way architecture is, the discourse of architecture generally.
I was trying to say, I think, following sort of from that, I think within architecture institutionally, I think it's quite easy to get caught up and almost stop at the idea of the concept. You know, as a designer, you want to develop that and you sort of think around that, and it can almost be like, okay, now, you know, pass it on to someone else, make this work. But I think with this project particularly, it's offered like a really nice sort of delicacy towards, you know, is this actually going to be practical? Because I think with everything, with architecture especially, it's all means tested, it's all social, especially, you know, like with a lot of philosophers, they say you can't plan a city. It's sort of something that has to be means tested, and I think with this we've really had to think about, you know, how in terms it would actually affect people. And,
Because in architectural plans, the people always tiny little, it's always looked from God, isn't it? Always tiny. What you said, it's not about the place, it's the people in it. And architecture needs to get its perspective down on the ground. Stop building these bloody towers all the time. Get down with the side of how people actually see things. You so rarely see architectural images, diagrams, or whatever, which are from eye point, always up there in the sky. And I think that shares something about how architects are thinking about what they're building.
We say as well, even not with architectural photography, you know, people usually just want the building like a ghost town, and we say, well, what's the point? Because the whole point of this is that we're creating it for somebody to use, so show it being used. And I think that's something we've all sort of taken from it, and we'll hopefully begin to incorporate it.
Yeah, I wanted to thank you for bringing it down here. I think it's really amazing work, and it's something that, again, with the Radical Housing Network, has come up. So we've had sort of architects coming and being like, well, look, I want to talk about what can the architect do? What can I do to help challenge this crisis and stuff as well? And I think this project is amazing. And it also makes me wonder, I don't know how it can be used in terms of the Save the Cressingham Gardens campaign. But you know, like, I'm sure there's links, but it's just great, and I want it to be displayed more. And like, yeah, I don't know where else it can go, or what uses it can have. But yeah.
Have you thought about exhibiting the work?